We got vibes. I feel like I'm 9 years in. Go Fever Girls! What's happening? What's good? First day! First day out! Day one, again!
9 years in, Go Fever Girls is greater than, is greater than. 8 months off the floor is a long time. And the real question coming into 2026 training camp wasn't whether Caitlin Clark's ankle healed up right. It was whether she'd still have that split-second read on a defense that made her so hard to guard in the first place. Plenty of players come back from that kind of absence. And something's just slightly off. The timing, the confidence, the instinct to throw a pass before the window even opens is greater than I feel great. Super excited to be back here and think I have a great perspective on, camp and not taking anything for granted. Obviously, at this time last year was kind of going through some things. So, more than anything, just really excited. I feel really healthy and feel like I put myself in a position to be as healthy as I can be to start the season and kind of just staying on top of that and, having a lot of fun. I think I have, like I said, great perspective on everything and excited with all the people that we brought in. It should be a really fun camp. Is greater than Clark didn't wait around for training camp to answer that. Back in March, she flew to Puerto Rico with Team USA for the FIA World Cup qualifiers and won MVP of the entire tournament, not by playing it safe, but by being the best player on the floor against international defenders who'd spent months preparing specifically for her. Coach Stephanie White, who was on the Team USA staff, watched it live and confirmed Clark's timing looked really good and that she let the game come to her the way you can't fake during solo rehab workouts. She's been cleared 100%, with zero restrictions heading into camp. And Clark herself put it plainly, "I'm 100% go. The plan isn't to bubble wrap her, it's to manage her minutes across 44 games. So she's still dangerous when October arrives." Kelsey Mitchell just entered her 9th season with the Indiana Fever, and she could have left, coming off an all WNBA first-team selection, averaging 20.2 points a game, finishing 5th in MVP voting. She had every reason to test the open market and see what other teams would put on the table. When the Indiana Fever's 2025 season came to a close, Kelsey Mitchell stood in rarefied air. Second all-time in franchise history in scoring, first in points per game, and first in threes made. Her 2025 season was her best yet. An all-star, first-team all-WNBA, and 5th in the MVP voting. And Kelsey Mitchell is back. She didn't. Mitchell signed a 1-year Supermax deal worth $1.4 million. Becoming the first player in Fever history to sign a $1 million contract. And when she got asked why she came back, the contract wasn't even what she talked about. She described the locker room as having family vibes and said flat out, "My relationships I've built with ACC, even like Lexi and Soph and all those guys, it was family vibes. So I couldn't shake it and let it go." Is greater than for all the right reasons. I knew Fever was a priority. I knew that I wanted to kind of be a Fever girl again in a certain way. My relationships that I built with AB, CC, even like Lexi and like Soph and all those guys, it was family vibes. So I couldn't I couldn't shake it or let it go. Is greater than Clark called resigning Mitchell priority number 1 for the franchise, which tells you exactly how much that backcourt pairing matters to how Indiana wants to play. Mitchell attacks downhill and forces defenses to collapse, so Clark gets open looks. Defenses that chase Clark off screens give Mitchell a clear runway to the basket. Neither one works quite as well without the other, and both of them know it. Is greater than. One more on Kelsey. The first $1 million player is greater than as she should be. Period. Is greater than. So just your thoughts on her commitment to this franchise and getting rewarded in that way after being here so long. Is greater than. Yeah, I love Kelsey. I think just like you said, Her dedication to this franchise has just been so crucial, and I mean, she's a big part as to why we even made it so far last year, especially with C being out. And so for her to get that money, I'm so proud of her. Is greater than ISK. Is greater than Mitchell, ranked first in the entire WNBA in total three-pointers made in 2025 while shooting nearly 40% from deep. That's who Indiana just locked back in. Aaliyah Boston just signed the biggest contract in WNBA history. A 4-year deal that immediately bumps her salary to $1 million this season and at a total of $6.3 million over 4 years. And she's 24 years old. That's not Indiana paying for past performance. That's Indiana locking in a player who hasn't even hit her ceiling yet. Is greater than AB's just the rock. She's the one who keeps everybody, settled, keeps everybody calm, manages situation, is greater than. The moment she put on a Fever uniform, she has impacted this team. Is greater than. The future of this favorite ball club really belongs to her, and she is going to take them to some special places. But she catches the ball with her to 2 feet in the paint, like that. She is the most efficient player in the WNBA. Is greater than. What makes Boston worth that kind of money isn't flashy. She defends multiple positions, finishes through contact, catches anything you throw at her, and does all the grunt work that keeps a team from falling apart in the fourth quarter. Clark put it plainly when the signing dropped. Nobody more deserving. And Clark isn't wrong, because having Boston anchoring the paint means Clark can push pace and fire passes into traffic without worrying about whether the interior will hold up behind her. Is greater than. I knew it was in the works, but I saw it on social media and just super happy for her. Largest salary in WNBA history over the course of the deal. So nobody more deserving. Really happy for her, and happy that she gets to spend more time here, because these fans really love her. This organization really loves her, and I've loved getting to play with her every single second. Like, she's not only a great basketball player, but one of my good friends. So really happy to celebrate her. Is greater than Boston's agent moved fast the moment the new CBA got finalized and Boston didn't drag it out. She described Indiana as a fun place to be with an amazing staff, which sounds simple but means she chose security over testing the market because she actually wants to be there. Is greater than, yeah, I was super blessed. God is great, man. Just to be here, be with the Fever, get that extension. I'm super excited about it. The staff is super excited. Indy is just such a fun place to be. I think the basketball that we're playing here is great basketball. The people that we have here at this franchise is amazing, and I love playing with it. Is greater than analysts keep pointing to her three-point shot as the next step. And if that develops, defenses that are already getting stretched thin by Clark, Mitchell, Hull, and Cunningham on the perimeter suddenly have no good answer anywhere on the floor. Lexi Hall and Sophie Cunningham both had real market value heading into this offseason, and neither one had to take a discount to come back. Hall shot 40% from 3 over the last 2 seasons and can guard the 2, 3, and 4, so other teams would have called. Cunningham shot 43% from 3 in stretches of 2025 and had publicly talked about wanting longer-term security. The open market was right there for both of them. This is home. I think, when season ended last year, I knew this is where I wanted to be. I've been here for 4 seasons and feel like we had a great momentum last season. We're able to accomplish more than we had in the past, and I think for me, I just want to keep growing on that, building on that, and building with this group. The fans are great. From the moment I got here, my rookie year, even though we didn't have the best year on the court, they welcomed me with open arms. Someone from the West Coast didn't have a lot of people here, didn't have anyone here really that I knew. They made this place feel like home, and it's just continued to feel more and more like home the last few years. Is greater than. They came back anyway. Hull announced her return in a TikTok video with Clark at the Masters, confirming she's back after Clark teased it with tell a friend to tell a friend. And Hull put it simply, this is home. Cunningham signed a 1-year deal despite wanting long-term security because she believes this group wins a championship in 2026. And the Fever front office was calculated about it, waiting until front court targets like Atlanta Smith and Azora Stevens got sorted before officially announcing her return. Is greater than woohoo? You guys ready to rock? Is greater than. Everyone, how you feeling? Is greater than. Feverish. Is greater than. Hey, good. Excited. Home 317. Is greater than. Yes. First day. Woohoo. Is greater than. Good. Ready to go. Here too. Here we go. Is greater than. Ready to go. Is greater than. I have my message. Let's get it. Is greater than. Picture this. Clark with the ball, Mitchell on one side, Hull on the other, Cunningham in the corner, and Boston at the elbow. Defenses can't collapse on Clark's drive without leaving a 40% shooter wide open. So every single possession forces an impossible choice. The Fever didn't have to rebuild their rotation to get better this offseason. Monique Billings checks every single box Indiana needed in a power forward, and the list of requirements was pretty specific. The Fever needed someone who'd sprint the floor with Clark, stay out of the paint so Boston could operate freely inside, grab offensive rebounds without camping under the basket, and actually threaten from the perimeter so defenses couldn't just ignore her. Is greater than greater. Yeah, first and foremost, Mo's an elite communicator. She's an elite communicator on the defensive end of the floor. There shouldn't be mistakes in coverages because she's talking about it. She's a really good defender, active, aggressive. She's a hard row rim runner. She's a hard roller at a ball screen. She's a terrific rebounder. She's a bright personality. You know, she brings a lot of energy. She's smiling. She enjoys being out there. She enjoys the game. I thought her and Caitlin had really good chemistry at USA as well. So looking forward to integrating her into what we do. Is greater than Billings. Does all of it. She converted 81% of her field goal attempts from 0 to 3 feet last season. So when Clark fires a pass to her rolling off a screen, that possession ends at the rim. She runs hard in transition, which fits exactly what Stephanie White wants to push in 2026. And Coach White called her an elite communicator on the defensive end, which matters on a team targeting a top 3 defensive ranking. But here's where it gets interesting. Billings already played alongside Kelsey Mitchell in the unrivaled league and ran with Clark on Team USA. So she already knows where both of them put the ball before it leaves their hands. Aaliyah Boston pointed specifically to Billings' rebounding and floor running as things that fit naturally with the front court group. That learning curve that kills most new signings in their first month, Billings walked into camp without one. The 2025 Fever got out-muscled when playoff games turned physical. And that's not an opinion. It's what happened against the Aces when Indiana needed a stop and didn't have anyone willing to get genuinely nasty about it. Misha Hines-Allen fixes that problem directly. Is greater than. Hines-Allen shaking her head like it's hard to stop me when I turn that corner going to the basket. Is greater than. Hines-Allen, yes, finds Allen. Count the bucket and the foul is greater than to second side for the sweet, smooth reversal. Aisha Hines-Allen coming right into your living room. Is greater than. Here is High Allen out the basket. Aisha's got a mismatch. Takes advantage of a count. Is greater than. She's one of the toughest players in the entire league. The kind of front court player who doesn't just absorb contact, but actively invites it, and opposing post players feel that difference immediately. Stephanie White specifically called out her elite communication on defense, saying her vocal presence should eliminate the coverage mistakes that burned Indiana in high-leverage moments last season. That's not a compliment about attitude. That's White describing someone who organizes the paint, calls out screens before they happen, and keeps 5 players speaking the same defensive language. Quite a bit of foul trouble in this half. To put it into perspective, Mavery has 3. Sia Rivers has 3 fouls. Rhea Hartley has 3 fouls. Is greater than. is greater than. That's your wing depth. Is greater than is greater than. What makes this signing particularly smart is that Hines Allen protects Aaliyah Boston from getting worn down every single night by physical post players. So Boston isn't exhausted by the fourth quarter of a playoff game when Indiana actually needs her. And for Clark, having a front court player who catches passes in traffic and finishes through contact means those no-look passes we'll get to later in this video have a legitimate target at the rim. The 2025 Fever had talent. The 2026 Fever have talent, and someone willing to throw elbows back. If you watched college basketball between 2022 and 2024, you know Iowa versus South Carolina wasn't just a rivalry. It was personal, loud, and intense in ways most college games never get. So, when Indiana drafted Raven Johnson with the 10th overall pick, a chunk of the internet immediately decided drama was coming. Then, day one of training camp happened. A clip surfaced showing Johnson apparently walking past Clark without returning a high five during a team drill. And within a few hours, it got screenshotted, clipped, and turned into a full locker room crisis by people who'd clearly never played on a team before. Aaliyah Boston, who actually knows Johnson from their South Carolina days together, jumped on her podcast and shut it down directly. It's so funny. The fans always have more beef than the players actually do. Clark and Johnson both addressed it publicly. We're clear it was a college rivalry that stayed in college and moved on faster than the people writing the drama threads did. Is greater than, oh, it was good. I learned from a lot of the vets here. I was listening. They were giving me, a good welcoming. They were telling me how training camp's gonna be. I thought it was very competitive. But it felt good to be here, honestly, and to play with these talented women. Sophie Cunningham, Caitlin Queer, Lexi Hall, Kelsey Mitchell, they all great people to be around. They help me when I don't know things. They know the system really well. So I asked them a lot of questions yesterday. I don't know, they probably got annoyed by me, but I did ask them a lot of questions yesterday. Is greater than. What Johnson actually brings is what Stephanie White needs. She averaged 1.5 steals per game in her senior season while fouling only 1.6 times per game. So, she pressures the ball without putting opponents on the free throw line, which is exactly the kind of perimeter defense Indiana was missing. Justine Pat got drafted 25th overall, and some people saw that pick and thought Indiana grabbed a project. They were wrong about that. Is greater than Justine Pat is huge. Like if you've been looking at any of your drills, Justine Pat is huge. Is greater than. She's 6'4" inches with a wingspan that analysts are measuring around 7 feet, which is the kind of physical profile that makes scouts do a double take because it looks almost disproportionate in person. One analyst compared her dimensions directly to Breanna Stewart's, which isn't a comparison you throw around casually. On offense, she can shoot over basically any defender the WNBA throws at her because there aren't many players in the league who can get a hand high enough to bother her release. Is greater than. Like, I don't think people understand 6'4" snipers don't grow on trees. Is greater than. But the camp footage that's actually turning heads is the defensive stuff, and it's not what most people expected from a rookie. She's using that length to force tough shots and tip passes and drills, recovering after drives and contesting at the rim in ways that most two-year-olds with that frame haven't figured out yet because they're still learning to move their own body. Analysts project her ceiling somewhere around Sophie Cunningham or bet Nigel Laney defensively with solid foot speed for her size is greater than. She's on her man. Goes down low, covering the box. Okay, not making it easy there. And this is from today. So, decent footwork, lateral movement, had her arms up, didn't make that pass easy. Is greater than Kodo is. Greater than White now has a decision to make. Protect Pat's development and keep her minutes limited, or let the kid play her way into the rotation herself. Stephanie White walked into training camp with one number in her head, top 3. That's the defensive ranking she's targeting for 2026. And she's not treating it as a stretch goal. She's treating it as the baseline. White declared flat out, "We want to be a bear on the defensive end of the floor." which is a pretty direct statement from a coach who ran top 2 defenses in Connecticut back-to-back before coming to Indiana. Is greater than? Yeah, I think the message was just we've taken another step. We have to understand what it takes on a daily basis. You know, we're going to continue to put the we over the me. We're going to continue to prioritize the locker room and the chemistry in the locker room and the continuity. And we have to expect more of ourselves on a daily basis. It's about consistency. It's about how we do the work. And it's about putting ourselves in position for success. Is greater than? The 2025 Fever ranks 7th defensively with a 104.3 defensive rating. So, jumping to top 3 isn't a small ask. White knows that number personally because her Connecticut Sun teams posted a 96.4 defensive rating in 2024, which ranked first in the entire league. She's not guessing about what elite defense looks like. She's already built it. New guard Tayasha Harris played under White in Connecticut and understands exactly what gets demanded, saying, "Defense wins championships, and that once the playoffs hit, that's really what matters." White's drilling transition defense, specifically in the early camp sessions, integrating Billings and Hines Allen into the defensive communication system alongside Johnson and Harris in the backcourt, is greater than day one. Exciting opportunity in front of us. Excited to get going, y'all. Okay, let's have a good day. Is greater than? Yeah. Don't hesitate. Yeah. Raven. Yeah. Hell yeah. That's it. Hell yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah. Go. Yes. Good. Yeah. Is greater than. Pushing pace creates scramble situations that Clark's passing instincts absolutely feast on. So, the faster Indiana plays, the harder it gets to guard them on both ends. The clip started circulating online within the first few days of camp, and the reaction was pretty consistent. People watched them twice because they weren't sure they saw what they thought they saw. The no-look passes are back, and not the careful, conservative ones you'd expect from someone 8 months removed from the floor. Clark fired a one-handed pass to Myisha Hines Allen in a dropping off the dribble off screens with a hand in her face. 5 consecutive from the wing and corner during warm-ups in her Kobe PE shoes. The full range, fully operational. White confirmed she doesn't need Clark out there for every rep. And Clark herself preemptively told reporters, "Nobody get hung up on this. I don't want this to be a story about sitting out stretches. That's not a player protecting herself. That's a player managing a long season on purpose." Clark admitted the 2025 injury was very isolating and a humbling experience that taught her how to actually take care of her body for the long haul. So, when she's on the floor in camp, she's not at 80%. She's at 100% for shorter, intentional bursts. And the footage proves it. Let's be honest about where Indiana actually stands, because the roster looks great on paper, and paper doesn't win championships. Clark is healthy and playing at MVP level. Boston just signed the biggest contract in league history at 24 years old. Mitchell's coming off an all-first-team season, and the supporting cast is deeper and tougher than it's ever been. The real questions are whether the front court holds up against elite post players in a playoff series, and whether new pieces like Billings and Hines Allen sync up fast enough across a 44-game sprint. Those aren't small questions. $5. Is greater than... Clark answered one of them directly when she told reporters, "I think we're going to be the favorite to win it all." That's either pure confidence or a deliberate attempt to set the tone for how this team sees itself. And honestly, it might be both. The 2025 Fever lost to the Aces in 5 games in the semifinals, and Kelsey Mitchell finished that series so physically worn down. She developed rhabdomyolysis after Game 5. That's what a thin roster cost you in October. The 2026 roster addresses that directly, with Hines Allen absorbing contact and Billings running the floor. So Mitchell isn't playing 38 minutes every night when it matters most. Indiana isn't necessarily the most talented team in the WNBA. They might be the most complete, and in a playoff series, that's the one that tends to matter. Indiana Fever are built differently, and the training camp footage proves it's showing up in practice, not just on a roster sheet. Clark went on NBC and told reporters flat out, "I think we're going to be the favorite to win it all." And after watching 2 weeks of camp footage, it's hard to argue with her. Subscribe and hit the bell because this team is going to generate a lot of content between now and October. The Caps managed, the core's locked in, and Clark just spent 8 months getting healthy and hungry. The rest of the WNBA feels that soon. What do you think is the best move the Indiana Fever did in the offseason? Let me know down in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen and we will see you in the next.